Hello and welcome back to the game room. I thought what I would do today is do you a update of my NES collection, and I thought I would show off a few things that I have in the collection. Before I show you anything though, I want to explain that NES collecting in the UK, where I'm based, is incredibly difficult. There aren't a lot of NES games available, particularly in comparison to America. It's not as easy as just going to flea markets and picking them up here, there, and everywhere. In the UK, they're very limited. They're very difficult to find, particularly because it's been so long since the original console came out. If you're late to collecting, like myself, I've only been collecting 2 or 3 years, it's incredibly difficult to pick up good value NES games without going to eBay. And eBay is something that I genuinely usually stay clear of. Because A, it's too much money, and B, there is not as much fun in collecting NES games via eBay, because anybody can go onto eBay and type in whatever you want and pay whatever you want. There's no enjoyment, there's no fun in that. And for me, a lot of the fun of gaming is not knowing what you're going to find, the chase, hunting something down, the luck. So I'll get to it and I'll start showing you some of the things in my collection. The first thing I want to show you is my NES Classic, which is the PAL version, which is slightly different than the NTSC version. Show you the back. My wife got me this for Christmas, which is really, really cool. Here we have a controller adapter for it. So this is an extension cable. So the cable, I think, is about 3 meters. So it's massive, great big cable. Because anybody who knows that the cable that came with the original is just so small that it's impossible to use otherwise. This is something I picked up very recently. This is the NES Classics Playing with Power book, which is a fantastic book that outlines all the games in the NES Classic collection. It's detailed, it's a gorgeous book. But it actually looks like a NES cartridge, which is fantastic as well. But that sits on my shelf and looks pretty. So I'm going to show you some of the games now that I have. I don't have a very large collection. I've got about 20 games for it, something like that. Not very many at all, but I thought I'd take you through them. Okay, firstly I thought I'd show you Captain Skyhawk. Never played that one. Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout with a bit of damage to this label, as made famous by the angry video game nerd. Just a generic platformer really. Black Label Golf, which is incredibly difficult to play. You have to use your imagination quite a fair bit to play that. Here we have Hook. I've never played this. I had this in my collection a couple of years. I've never ever played it. Here we have the first of the LJN games. Anybody who's watched AVGN again knows what LJN is. A little Rainbow of Death just there. I'm a huge wrestling fan as well, so I love picking up wrestling games for it. It's WrestleMania Challenge. Second of the Wrestling LGN games, Steel Cage Challenge, little Rainbow of Death. Now this. I know some people love this, but I'm not a massive fan. I prefer the later Super Nintendo games, particularly Turtles in Time, my favourite. This is the original NES TMNT. In the UK though, can you see the label in the UK? It's not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, the PAL version. Blades of Steel, which somebody annoyingly, I think you can't really see it, but someone scratched into the label the word crap on it, which I was really annoyed about because I didn't realise until after I'd bought it. It's the one that's this is basically the Dr. Kawajima's brain training of the NES. Everybody's got this one. Silent Service. Hunt for Red October, which I've never played. Now this one I think is a bit misunderstood, and I really enjoy this one. Citizens Bart vs. the Space Mutants, which I really enjoy. Solar Jetman, I've never played that. I picked it up because I think this one's actually made by Rare. I think it is, because I've played a bit of that. I think it's made by Rare. It's one of their first games, I think. Now, one of my absolute favourite games of all time, and I've got it also on the Super Mario All-Stars, that is Super Mario Brothers. I'm desperate to pick up 2 and 3 for the NES as well, but hopefully we'll do that in the coming days and months. So this is my NES collection. Again, I know, pitiful and a bit embarrassing, but again, it's something that I'm hopefully going to grow with time and add a lot more to. My number one goal this year is to pick up a gold card to Zelda. I'm going to a couple of gaming conventions this year, so I'm hopeful about picking up a gold card Zelda at some point. At the moment, I'm playing NES through my modded Xbox that I picked up about a week, 2 weeks ago now, and I showed you one of these videos. So it's been brilliant to play old NES games via that. I've played through a massive chunk of Little Samson, which I know is hundreds and hundreds of pounds, but I've been playing that at the moment on the modded Xbox, which is fantastic. But I'm hopeful of adding a Zelda Gold card a bit later on in the year. When I add a few more, hopefully I'll do another update to this video and let you know of any future pickups as well. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time in the game room.